Ms. Thompson is back with another exciting lesson. Today, she takes the class on a journey through myths and legends, stories that shaped history and explained the unknown. Get ready to explore, learn, and have fun. Let's begin.
Good morning, class. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of myths and legends. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard a story that explains something in a magical way, like how thunder is caused by gods fighting in the sky, or how a giant turtle carries the world on its back? These kinds of stories are called myths. Can anyone tell me why ancient people created myths? Raise your hand if you have an idea. Me, teacher?
Me, teacher.
James, what do you think?
Maybe because they didn't have science yet?
Exactly, James. Long ago, people didn't have modern science to explain everything around them. While some civilizations developed advanced knowledge, others created myths to understand the world in their own way. Now, let's figure something out. What's the difference between a myth and a legend? A myth is usually about gods, nature, or magical creatures. A legend is about real people or events, but the story has been exaggerated over time. Let's test this. I'll say a story, and you tell me if it's a myth or a legend. Ready? Who has heard of King Arthur? Raise your hand. Me, teacher?
Me, teacher.
Me, teacher? Sarah, is King Arthur a myth or a legend?
A legend. He was a real person, but the stories about him are probably not all true.
Fantastic, Sarah. The story of King Arthur is a legend because it's based on a real king, but his magical sword Excalibur and wizard Merlin were likely added over time. Ancient Greeks believed Zeus controlled the weather. Why do you think they believed that? Raise your hands. Me, teacher? Me, teacher?
Me, teacher.
Michael, your turn.
Because they didn't know how storms worked?
Exactly, Michael. They didn't have meteorologists or satellites, so when they saw lightning, they thought it must be Zeus throwing thunderbolts. Now, did you know that the ancient Greeks believed the sun was carried across the sky by a god named Helios in a golden chariot? Who can tell me what we really know about the sun today? Raise your hands. Me, teacher? Me, teacher? Me, teacher? Emily, what do you think?
The sun doesn't move, Earth does.
That's exactly right, Emily. The Earth orbits the sun, but ancient people didn't know that yet. So they created myths to explain what they saw. Great job today, everyone. Now, one last question. Why do myths still matter today? Raise your hands.
Me, teacher.
Me, teacher? Me, teacher?
Me, teacher.
Daniel, share your thoughts.
Because myths help us understand how people in the past thought.
Exactly, Daniel. Myths may not be scientifically true, but they tell us about ancient cultures and what they believed. For next time, think about this. If you could invent your own myth, what would it be about? We'll share them in our next class.
That was actually so much fun. I never thought history could feel like solving a mystery.
Right? Ms. Thompson makes everything feel like an adventure. I loved learning about the difference between myths and legends. I always thought King Arthur was real.
I like that no answer was ever wrong. Even if we weren't sure, Miss Thompson always helped us figure things out in a way that made sense.
And she never just told us the answers. She made us think for ourselves. I feel like I actually discovered something today.
Yeah, and no boring memorizing. We got to debate, guess, and even create our own myths. That was awesome.
I can't wait for the next lesson. I wonder what we'll discover next time.
Myths and legends shaped the way people saw the world. But what other stories are waiting to be uncovered? Join us next time for more exciting discoveries. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay curious.